Sometimes researchers analyze the content of documents and other forms of communication. This is called content analysis. In this chapter, we will discuss the nature of content analysis research, provide examples, and describe the advantages and disadvantages of doing such research. Content analysis is a technique that enables researchers to study human behavior in an indirect way through an analysis of various communications. There are many different types of communications, including textbooks, essays, pictures, even songs. Literally, any type of communication can be analyzed. A person or group's conscious and unconscious beliefs, attitudes, or values are often revealed in their communication. Content analysis is widely used in educational research. It can give researchers insights into problems that they can test by more direct methods. For instance, it can allow us to describe trends in schooling over time, to infer attitudes, values, and cultural patterns in different countries. What kind of ways do we categorize content analysis? All procedures at some point convert descriptive information that is gathered into categories. You can do this in two main ways. The researcher could determine the categories before analysis begins and base those categories on previous knowledge, theory, or experience. Furthermore, a researcher becomes very familiar with the descriptive information collected and allows the categories to emerge as the analysis continues. There are a number of steps that we undertake when doing a content analysis. First, we determine our objectives. We do this by obtaining information on the themes for organization and by checking other research findings for validation. It's also important that we investigate possible relationships in the data to test our hypothesis when doing a content analysis. As with all research processes, we must define our terms and specify our unit of analysis. Next, we have to locate relevant data. What content are we actually going to analyze? Then we must develop a rationale for the study we are going to undertake. It's important that we make a conceptual link that relates the data we are going to use to the objectives we have for the research. Next, we will need to develop a sampling plan for gathering our data and formulate the coding categories. We should also be sure that we have a system in place to help us check reliability and validity. Finally, we analyze the data. One way to do this is to use descriptive statistics like frequencies or percentages. Advantages of content analysis. First, it is unobtrusive. Your participants do not have to be burdened with observation, filling out surveys, or being interviewed. Content analysis is a useful means of analyzing, interviewing, and observational data that have been collected, and is not limited by time and space to the study of present events. Furthermore, content analysis is relatively simple and economical. Disadvantages of content analysis. First, it is limited to recorded information. Also, establishing validity could be a huge challenge. Finally, you have to be very careful in noting that content analysis cannot determine causal effects.